think it's gonna be a good we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time because we got kicked off the first time. So I'm gonna put my welcome little message in again. Welcome. We'll all get back to the room. Hello. We're back. Thank you. That's how you know we're gonna have a good session. That's how you know we're going to have a good session, my loves. Hello, Florence Fun Party. Welcome to the room. Come on in the room. Welcome, my loves. Okay, so this is what I was saying. I'm an artist and a mystic and an educator and a tarot reader. I'm a black feminist, black queer disabled femme babe that reads tarot. And so you'll hear a lot of that in this praxis today. And when I'm not looking at the intersections of spirituality and sexuality, I'm hanging out with the folks at Fun Factory. And so at Fun Factory, they are pioneers, playful pioneers, and their toys really help with sexual exploration. And so we're going to be doing a tarot reading that is focused on sexual exploration. And the thing that I really appreciate about Fun Factory Toys is that they practice fair labor practices and they have a tiny carbon footprint. And I love this, they say, because we know ethics are sexy. And ethics are definitely sexy to me. Click the heart if ethics are sexy to you too, child, because ethics are sexy to me. So click the heart. Show me if ethics are sexy to you. Yes. I love it. We love to see the hearts coming in. So I don't know if you've ever done something like this before, but it is certainly an experience. And so the first thing I want to do is just kind of connect us to our breath. Before we pull the cards, I want to let you know that I use tarot as a way to think about what stories are we living in right now? What are the stories that we are living in? So I will not be telling your fortunes, my loves. I'm not telling your fortunes because your fortune and your future is up to you, okay? But I will be looking at the cards to show us what are the stories that we're living in around our own sexual exploration. What ways can we go deeper? How can we make our lives more delicious, more juicy, more sensual, more sexual, more pleasurable? If you're here for that, let me see the hearts. Hey, sugar. Hey, 420 Tarot. Some of my friends are coming in the room. We love to see it. We are going to look at the cards and see how we can live a more pleasure-filled life. So if you want to live a more pleasure-filled life, you have come to the right place. Yes, it seems like given the hearts and everything, we want to live a pleasure-filled life. And so this is how we're going to use the cards today. So the first thing I want you to do is just connect to your breath. The breath is something that helps us move into our own sexual and sensual energy. You can even just where you are. I won't tell nobody if you don't tell nobody. Just take a little quick break, maybe. I won't tell if you don't tell. Just take a little quick break. Place your hand over your heart. One hand over your heart. One hand over your belly. And just do a nice, big, gorgeous, deep, delectable breath in and out on a sigh. Really try. I won't tell nobody if you don't tell nobody. If you breathe out on a sigh, just a nice way to kind of release and relax yourself into this energy so that you can fully hear the tarot reading and how it pertains to you. So again, one hand over the heart, one hand over the belly, breathing in a luscious, deep, pleasurable breath. Pausing at the peak of the breath, enjoying the climax of your own breathing. Yes, and breathing out on a sigh, allowing your shoulders to fall away from the ears. Welcome to all of the new folks that just joined us. You probably joined in while I was mid-moan. Which I love for you. We're just getting in touch with the breath first before we get into the tarot reading. The old tarot reading. We'll be doing this monthly with Fun Factory. And this is how it goes. Now that we have connected to the breath, now that we know that the tarot is going to help us to live more pleasurably, to fall into our own sexual and sensual energies, I want you to begin to just kind of clear out your mind for the moment and choose one of the three toys, okay? I'm going to show you three toys. You're going to choose one of them intuitively. Intuitively means that you're not overthinking it, huh? You're not you're not overthinking it. You're not overdoing it. You're just going to, you're going to see the 3 toys and you're just going to choose one, okay? I'll tell you all about them later. But right now, we're just going to see the 3 toys, okay? And you'll choose one. The toy that you choose will let us know what card that you get for the reading, okay? So the toy that you choose will help us to know what card you get for the reading. So click the hearts if you understand exactly what I'm saying and you're ready to go. Okay, I see you, I see you, I see you, I see you. Oh, thank you, sugars. Yes, talk to me. Talk to me in the chat. I love to hear from you as well. Yes, yes, yes. Is that clear? Beautiful. I'm going to show you 3 toys. You're going to pick one intuitively, not overthinking it, not judging yourself. You're just going to pick it. Beautiful. Okay. The first toy is the Volta, V-O-L-T-A, Volta. Volta. The first toy is the Volta. Look at how gorgeous. The Volta. The second toy is B1. 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 This is what it looks like. B1. The third toy is Sundays. Sundays with a Z. S-U-N-D-A-Z-E. Sundays. Choose one and then write it in the comments below. Hello, all the new folks. Hello, hello. You're choosing a toy, and that will determine what card you get. The first one is the Volta. If you chose Volta, put it in the comments. Who chose Volta? V-O-L-T-A. 1, yes, Volta. 2 is B1. Put it in the comments. What did you choose? B1. B1 is 2. And Sundays with the Z is 3. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm seeing some 1s, some Voltas. So these are your choices, my loves. Volta. We have a lot of Voltas. B1. B1. Or Sundays. Sundays. Pick your pleasure. Sundays. Okay. So now that we have chosen, I think, where do I want to start? Who do I want to start with? Who do I want to start with? I want to start with Sundays. If you chose Sundays, I'm going to start with you. And if you just got here and you're like, I don't even know what we're doing, oh my gosh, then this is the reading for you too. Okay? So Sundays, if you chose Sundays, you have the Queen of Cups. If you chose Sundays, you have the Queen of Cups. If you chose Sundays, you have the Queen of Cups. Oh my goodness, look at this Queen of Cups, honey. We're even matching, which I love. I love that for us. The Queen of Cups. So let me tell you about the Queen of Cups. If you chose Sundays, you've got the Queen of Cups. Volta, we're going to really have to work with you, my loves. Volta, you got Ace of Pentacles in reverse. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. That's actually a really great thing, and I'm going to tell you why in just a little bit. But Volta, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Get into it. Okay. Volta, you're going to have a really good, And if you chose B1, you have the 3 of Cups. You chose B1, you have the 3 of Cups. Okay, we're going to start with the Queen of Cups and the folks who chose Sundays. Sundays, the Queen of Cups is the card of intuitive knowledge. This is the card of self-awareness. So if you chose the Sundays, you got the Queen of Cups. Or if you're just joining us, you can dive in here at Queen of Cups. The queens in the tarot represent wisdom. Experience. They represent understanding and knowing yourself. The cups is the element of water. So if you chose Sundays, my Sundays folks, you're interested in moving like water. Think about how soothing and beautiful and powerful water feels against your skin. Water represents our feelings, our emotions, the ways we process. And so if you chose Sundays, Queen of Cups, you're really trying to go on this journey of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Sundays, if you chose Sundays, I would not be surprised if you are trying to heal the brain, soul, and body split. Sundays, Queen of Cups, folks, you're realizing that none of these things are separate, right? Your mind is not separate from your body. These things are not separate from your soul. And when your soul feels good, it's possible for your body to feel good. And when your body feels good, it's possible for your soul to feel good as well. So we are in the Queen of Cups. There's a regality here. If you chose Sundays, honey, I would not be surprised if you have been online shopping for lingerie, online shopping for toys and goodies and things that really just make you feel luscious and exciting. The Queen of Cups is also about acknowledging your own worthiness. So Queen of Cups, your question to think about, Queen of Cups, Sundays, folks, your question to think about is, how do I make time for emotional intelligence and self-pleasure? How do I make time for emotional intelligence and self-pleasure? Do I believe that I'm worthy of pleasure? So if you chose the Queen of Cups right now, the big question is, for your sexual, sensual, erotic life, do you believe that you're actually worthy of pleasure? Right? Pleasure that you can give yourself, pleasure that you can receive from others, pleasure in food, pleasure in drink, pleasure in bathing. Do you believe that you're worthy of pleasure? Sundays, folks. So if you chose Sundays, or if you're just getting here and dropping into the reading, that's okay. You can just pick up kind of where we are. If you chose Sundays, your card is the Queen of Cups. You are learning more about your pleasure self. You're acknowledging your own worthiness, and you're finding liberation through play. Liberation through play. And the work that I do when I'm not here hanging out with my Fun Factory family, I like to talk about sexuality and spirituality. Hello, my loves. Yes. Oh, yes, you didn't choose Sundays, but you receive. Yeah, anyone can receive this. If you feel like it's for you, then it's for you. So, Queen of Cups, do you believe that you're worthy of pleasure? What would you do if you believed that you were worthy of pleasure? Queen of Cups, you can look around and see they have this fly cloth on them. They've got bracelets. They've got this gold chalice. And so surround yourself with little luxuries, right? You don't have to be a billionaire to surround yourself through little luxuries. Yes, and Mariah, that is one of my main things when I do work around embodied sensual rituals, which is the work that I do outside of here. We always talk about liberation through play. How can you play and dance and move like water? Queen of Cups, Sundays, that's what it's all about. Now, let me tell you about the toy card combination. This deck is called the Afro Tarot. So this deck, this card, Queen of Cups, corresponds with the Sundays. I'm going to tell you why. Because with the Sundays, you really can enjoy this hands-free, It's a thruster. So if you look at it, it's a thruster, You can prop it up on a pillow and you can use it and insert it inside of yourself, and it's waterproof. Queen of Cups. Cups is the element of water. This is a waterproof toy. You can make the connection for all that you can do with this toy. So one of the things for you, Queen of Cups, bring pleasure into your life. You can use this in water, with water, and I have also found that it works really well. This kind of slanted tip here works really well for pleasurable self-touch and massage, and the vibrating and thrusting will feel really, really good. And so Queen of Cups, this toy kind of vibes like you're vibing right now, right? Moving like water, being like water, and knowing that you really can have very, very many things your way. Queen of Cups, if you chose Sundays, you're going to have to tell people what is your pleasure, The queens are about standing up in yourself and your own personal agency and your own personal ferocity, right? And fierceness. And so the Queen of Cups is about saying what you want. If you believe that you're worthy of pleasure, then you can communicate what's pleasurable to other people. Queen of Cups. Let me see. Does that resonate with folks? If you chose Sundays, or you got the Queen of Cups, or you're just joining us and this is just the reading that you kind of flowed into, let me know. Let me know if this is resonating with you. Put it in the chat or put up some hearts. Let me know. Talk back to me. While you're talking back to me, I'm going to move on to the folks who chose the Ace of Pentacles, or B1. B1. Oh, no, I lied. I'm sorry, my loves. Three of Cups is actually B1. Three of Cups. Loving this. Oh, I'm so glad. Loving. Okay, so we've got B1. If you chose B1, it's this little... Let me tell you something about the B1. Honey, don't let the size fool you. The B1, don't let the size fool you, my loves. This is a really, really interesting toy. I'm excited to talk about it, but I'm mostly excited to talk about the toy card correspondence and what this Three of Cups means. So if you chose number 2, or if you're just joining us and this is the reading that you're getting and flowing into, let me know. Three of Cups. B1, Three of Cups. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Okay. So the Three of Cups, if you chose 2 or B1, or if you're just joining us, you got the Three of Cups. The number 3 is the number of community. It's the number of meeting and joining with others. Let's see if you can see this card. You can see they're playing like chess or checkers or something of that nature. So this card is a card of celebration amongst friends. This card is a card where there's cause for joy. Similar to the Queen of Cups, you are also a Cups card. Hey, sugars who are just joining. You're also a Cups card, and that is the energy of water. That is the space of emotions and spirit. Now, for the folks who chose Volta, you have a different energy. I promise not all of them will be water. Yours will be earth, and we will talk about how to get grounded in your body, Volta. But right now we're on the twos, the water, the Three of Cups. It's about community. It's about sharing joy. Joy is to be shared. Foreplay is also to be shared. And that is kind of the sexy message that the Three of Cups gives us. So let's talk about this, because we are in a pandemic, child. We are in a pandemic. So when we have this Three of Cups, and this Three of Cups brings up this idea of community and sharing and joy, how are we going to do that in the middle of a pandemic? Well, I am so glad that you asked that question, because I'm going to give you some ideas of how you can do this in a pandemic. And it seems like y'all are into that from the hearts that I'm seeing. So if you're just joining, or you chose the number 2, or you chose the B1 vibrator, you have the card Three of Cups. Joy, community. Joy is for sharing. Foreplay is also for sharing. Your question is, how do I share my erotic energy with others? First, how do I enjoy my own erotic energy? Second, how do I share my erotic energy with others? Just like the Queen of Cups, your question is, how do I make time for self-pleasure, and do I believe that I'm worthy of pleasure? Three of Cups, yours is more about, how do I enjoy my own erotic energy, and how do I share it with other people? If you understand what I'm saying, let me know in the chat, or let me know by clicking the hearts. Three of Cups. Let me give you the card toy correspondence. This toy, look at that. Boom, bam, right there. Ergonomic handle. Ergonomic handle. It works kind of like it's a touch play. So you can touch yourself. You can touch others. You can touch your erogenous zones. You can touch the erogenous zones of others. This is a toy that can be used solo if you just got 1 cup, or with others if you've got 3 cups. Okay, so let's talk about how to do that. This toy has 4 different speeds, and it has a flirt setting. Let me tell you, I am not easy to. I am a Taurus sun, if astrology means anything to the folks in the room. I am a Taurus sun. I am an Aries rising, and I am a Sagittarius moon. This means I am not easily impressed, okay? I'm just not easily impressed. But let me tell you something about the B1. The B1 has a setting called the flirt setting, and it feels very Three of Cups. It feels like you're being flirted with and teased and pleasured, and there's play and joy. So this is about sharing. What happens when we share our erotic energy, when we triple? 3 is also the number of expansion, right? So we're expanding our erotic range. Another question for you, if you chose 2, if you're just joining, or if you chose the B1, you need to ask the question, how do I expand my erotic range? While we're all home, while we're in pandemic, while we're in quarantine, what can I do to expand my erotic range? How can I play? How can I how can I enjoy myself and enjoy myself with others? What's true? So here's some inspiration. This toy has a clean and carry case, so you can carry it anywhere that you want to. The 3 of Cups is also the card of threesomes, so if you can do that safely, that might be your homework. If you cannot do that safely, use the tech to your advantage. You can use toys like B1 to touch yourself erotically over a video platform. You can take a video. You can take audio of what it sounds like when you're playing with the B1. This is a toy that makes your touch vibrate. So how can you expand your erotic range? Maybe you're using it on places that are not your typical erogenous zones, right? Maybe you're using it in different places, touching, tracing, moving. Maybe you're doing a little nice sexy dance for yourself, sharing that, touching yourself, sharing that with yourself and others. These are all ways that you can play. So if you got the 3 of Cups, if you're just joining and this is where you are, or if you chose 2 or B1, you got the 3 of Cups. Foreplay is to be shared. Joy is to be shared. And how can you expand your erotic range through play? The 3 of Cups, don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too seriously. Allow yourself actually to play and enjoy yourself. Enjoy your own touch. Enjoy your own way of thriving. Yes, yes. Oh, yes, do you own this toy? And explore your range. Explore your range alone and with partners. I'm so glad you're resonating with this idea because that's what it's about. So let's recap. My loves, if you chose Sundays, your card was the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. Do you believe that you're worthy of pleasure? What would you do if you acted like you're worthy of pleasure? I don't know. There's someone, actually, I'm getting a intuitive message. There's someone here that you need to start dressing up. You need to start dressing. Use what you have. You don't have to be a billionaire. You need to start dressing up, even if it's just you in the comfort of your own home. Do you see the difference, right? Queen of Cups, this is just one person. We've got the Sundays. 3 of Cups, this is 3 folks. So expanding our range, sharing our range, enjoying our erotic range, right? Queen of Cups is taking care of our sexual and emotional selves, right? Learning, becoming more self-aware. What do I like? What do I crave, right? What kind of touch do I crave? And so the Sundays is really, really good for kind of exploring some of that. Also, this toy is waterproof. So we've got waterproof toy for the cups, and we love that. I love that. I won't say we love that, but I love it. And if you love it too, tell me in the chat. Tell me in the chat or find me like on the gram and let me know. All right, Volta, y'all ready? Volta, we had a lot of folks that chose the Volta. The Volta. I'm a Volta girl myself. The Volta. I love the Volta. Somebody say, you mean I gotta take off the sweatpants? Sometimes you gotta take off the sweatpants. Only sometimes, unless sweatpants like are your lingerie. Because some folks, honey, sweatpants are all right with them and with me. So if you can pick up what I'm putting down, then maybe you don't have to. In sweatpants we trust. Yes. So Volta. I'm a Volta girl myself. I love the Volta. I love the ergonomic handle. I am a Black, queer, disabled femme. So as someone who has a disability and who really likes my pleasure to feel easeful for my body, the ergonomic handle really, really works. We're going to talk about what card that you got if you chose the Volta, or if you're just joining us and you are here now for the tarot reading, then this is your card, right? I don't necessarily believe that it's a coincidence that you came here at this time. So this is for you. Okay, sugars? Now, if you've been here and we already read your card, but you're like, oh, I want another card, then this is your card too. You are not limited in any way. You can receive as many of these messages as you would like to. Why? Because this is about pleasure. This is about joy. You know, we need to kind of shake it up a little bit. And so this is about pleasure and joy. You can receive as many of these messages as you want to, or as little of these messages as you want to. If you just want to look at me because I'm cute, I'm okay with that too. Okay, so you receive as many or as little as you want to. Okay. Volta, my loves, Volta. Oh, Jesse, I talked about the Sundays a little bit before, but I am going to do a recap. So just hang tight for me, okay? So Voltas, you have the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Now, your card was in reverse. Ace of Pentacles was in reverse. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything bad. It does not mean anything bad. Just breathe. Come on, let's breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. And release ourselves from a negative narrative about ourselves, about our sexuality, about our sensuality, because that's not what we're doing here. If you got this card and it's in reverse, that just means that there's a little place that needs your attention, needs your love, needs your care, needs your compassion. It's a lesson that you're learning, right? So Ace of Pentacles, when it's upright, look at that gold coin, how beautiful that is. This is the element of earth. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to teach you something. In the tarot, it's split up into 4 different suits, and each suit rules a different domain. The cups rules water, which we talked about. That's the emotions, and that's our spirituality. The swords, the mind, and the throat. The pentacles is earth, right? Our time, our talent, our treasure. That's the pentacles. And then there are the wands. The wands is like fire energy, what we care about, what we're passionate about, our sexuality, our sensuality. So the tarot is made up of a major arcana, a minor arcana, and 4 suits. So if you chose the Volta, you are in the suit of earth. So we are in a real pragmatic space. All right, my loves, we're in a pragmatic earth space. Time, talent, and treasure. We're going to be thinking about that, okay? Your Ace of Pentacles, when it's upright, this is the energy of like starting a new journey, starting a new path, right? Really investing in yourself, getting in your body, groundedness and stability. So when this card is in reverse, my loves who chose Volta, you may be feeling like you're maybe stuck in a rut a little bit. Hard to get started. I wouldn't be surprised if it's kind of hard to get started on projects, on things. Hell, maybe even just on the day itself, right? When we have an Ace of Pentacles in reverse, sometimes it feels like we're putting in a little extra effort, right, to do those everyday kind of things. So when we have this Ace of Pentacles in reverse, we have to remember that we've got to get back into our body. We've got to love on our body. We've got to look at our body as if it is our ally, because in fact, it is. So let me know something. If you chose Volta, is this resonating with you? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We've got to get grounded. We've got to kind of come back to our body. Sometimes cards go in reverse when we have too much of something or not enough of something. So in this case, the too much of something might be too many deadlines. Oh, I'm too busy to center my pleasure. Too many things to do. Too many checklist items. It could be too much, or it could be not enough. It could be not enough of not enough, feeling like you don't have enough time, or you don't have enough. Yes. That's what it, somebody had this conversation with themselves yesterday. Yes, it's true. So the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, we just have to pause and give ourselves some compassion so we can flip this right back up. So the question for you is, how can I start a pleasure practice where I am with what I have? Where I am with what I have. How do I start my pleasure practice where I am with what I have? And then you can ask yourself, what do I need? What do I need? Okay, so this is a card that asks you to focus on getting back into your body. getting back into your body, viewing your body as an ally, viewing your body as something that you can experience its own erotic energy. It can make you grounded and stable, and know that you have to start somewhere. Sometimes when we have this card, we can feel like we're in a rut and we need something to kind of like shake things up. Well, speaking of shaking things up, child, that's why we did the card Toy Correspondence of the Volta. This is one of my favorite toys. I love this. It's really just a joy even sometimes to just watch. So we're shaking things up. We're shaking things up. The Volta has a really strong, like, vibrating sensor, and it heightens your sensitivity. It's a clit toy. You can nest it kind of like around your labia. It also works as a vibrating stroker as well. You can put it on the shaft while you're doing, you know, what you're doing when you're doing it. And so this is a toy that really helps to like shake things up. Ace of Pentacles, my goodness, everything does not have to be so serious, my loves. Everything doesn't have to be so serious. Ace of Pentacles, if you chose the Volta, or if you are just joining us, right? Or you chose number 3, the Volta, everything doesn't have to be so serious. You can make time for your own pleasure. It can be 5 minutes. It can be 10 minutes. It could be 20 minutes. Hang a sock on the door and say, this is my time. Pets, kids, friends, family. Listen, this is my time. Goodbye. Have a great day. Have a great 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Because this is my time. Ace of Pentacles, my loves, you've got to do something to shake things up and get back in your body. That can be things like walking, dancing, sensual movement, or pleasurable self-touch with hands, with toys, right? Shaking things up and really allowing yourself some freedom. Start somewhere. Start with what you have, and then ask yourself, what else do I need? So if you chose the Sundays, let's do a quick recap. Okay, and then if you have, let's do this. If you have questions, put them in the chat for me, and I can, answer and move through those things. Okay, so if you chose the Volta, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace is the number of starting something new. It's number 1. Aces hold all of the like power and potential and deep energy of the suit. And so I love this because you're on a new journey. You're going on a new journey. If you chose this toy and this card, you're going on a new journey. And so why not just budget in time for pleasure? You can see that there's a coin here. So we're dealing with our actual like resources, the actual things that we have. So why don't we budget in the time for that? If we know that we're going on a big journey, if we know that we're starting something new, if we know that we've been feeling like we're in a rut, if we know we've been feeling not as inspired as we usually are, then why not budget in the time for some pleasure? What's stopping you? Tell me in the chat, what's stopping you, my loves? What's stopping you? We need to shake some things up, huh? We've got to shake it up. So those are my Volta babes. Oh yes. Yes, we'll be doing this once a month. So you'll get to see a lot of different kinds of toys, and a lot of different kinds of cards, and I think it's going to be so much fun. So if you're just joining, or if you chose, let's see, the B1, we're doing a recap. If you chose the B1, this is a toy you can use solo, but it's also a couple's toy, huh? It fits right here. It's really, really beautiful ergonomically. And your toy is your card is the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups, joy is to be shared. Look at this. Look at them just playing chess. Feeling the breeze, huh? Cups is the suit of emotions. It's how we feel, and friendship and joy and playing with others, huh? Can make us feel really, really good. The 3 is also the number we talked about, it being the number of expansion. And so we're expanding our erotic range. We're expanding. We're doing new things. We're trying new things. 3 of Cups, also use the tech. Use the tech to like make things work for you. If you want to use these different things and record audio or sound or visual, all different kinds of things, right? That's a way to expand your erotic range. 3 of Cups, your question, if you're just joining us or you chose to be one, your question is, how do I share my erotic energy with others? How do I share my erotic energy with others? Or how do I expand erotic energy in myself? How do I expand erotic energy in myself? Huh? Yes, you can. You can hold the card and the toy at this. You see the beauty of this? The ergonomics of this, honey? The 3 of Cups. Yes, yes. And then Sundays. My loves that chose Sundays. If you chose Sundays, this toy, you have the Queen of Cups. You've got the Queen of Cups. Diving into your emotions, learning more about yourself. The queens represent authority, and they represent regality. And it was funny, we talked a little bit earlier about like sometimes just dressing up can really help you kind of flow in your Queen of Cups nature. The Queen of Cups is about feeling above all else, insisting on you being able to feel pleasure. Your question is, how do I make time for self-pleasure? How do I make time? And do I believe that I'm worthy of pleasure? The Queen of Cups, honey, we've got to believe that we're worthy of pleasure. Whether it comes from self, whether it comes from others, whether it comes from a toy or our own touch, we've got to believe that we're worthy of pleasure. Huh? Ask me some questions in the comments. I'm going to actually just do a shuffle for just a general and see what it is that we get. But in the meantime, while I'm shuffling, you can feel free to ask me a question in the comments. Or tell me what resonates with you. Talk to me. Tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. This next card will be all of our homework for the week. Okay, so if you chose a specific toy or you popped in at a specific time, then you already know kind of just your general homework. But now I'm going to choose some homework for the week for us that we can really use to dive into our pleasure practice. At the same time, if you have questions for me or thoughts, or you want to share a little bit about your card, you can do so in the comments. Okay, we're going to talk about this notion of pleasure palace. Pleasure palace. Write this down if you're writing or pop it in the comments. Pleasure palace. Pleasure palace. A palace of pleasure. A sacred space of pleasure that we build for ourselves. This is our homework for the next week. So, the first card we have, this is the 9 of Pentacles. This is all of our homework. Pentacles, again, it's earth. So we are planning. We've got to think about our time, our talent, and our treasure, our coins. Pentacles is a fancy word for coins, okay? So you can think about this, the 9 of coins or the 9 of earth. Look at how beautiful this card is. Oh my goodness. You see this image of this person. They've got a large coin on their above their head. There's gold and there's flowers, and it's just a luscious kind of card. For many of us, overthinking is coming up as a theme. We also have a 6 of Swords that is in reverse. So overthinking and over worrying and there's a lot of mental energy that we're expending. And so this is how we balance through the 9 of Pentacles, through our pleasure palace or our sacred space of pleasure. The 9 of Pentacles as a piece of homework is to create an erotic altar. Now, I already know I lost some people because y'all like, what is an erotic altar? Do I gotta do? Oh my gosh, is she talking about these other deities? Listen, simplify, my loves. The 9 of Pentacles is about building a pleasure palace, building a space for yourself, to experience pleasure. Easy, easy, easy peasy. I don't care if that space is behind your shower curtain for 5 minutes at the start of a day. Or if you build a whole erotic altar, a space, a table, a Altoids box, something small, a shoe box, anything small that you can say, this is what brings me, this smell brings me pleasure. Maybe you'll put some rose petals in there or some lavender in there. Maybe you've got a crystal that you like working with, rose quartz to help with self-love and pleasure. Or maybe you've got a little carnelian to kind of heat things up. You can put that in there as well. Maybe you've got a sex toy that you like to use that you want to put in, in your space of your erotic altar. Create a space. Create a space that reminds you that you're worthy of pleasure. You're worthy of joy. You're worthy to expand and explore your erotic range. And you're worthy to share that with others when you choose to. So the 9 of Pentacles is about building up a pleasure palace, a place where you can unwind. Look at this. The 9 of Pentacles is about tending our own gardens. Excuse the pun. But it is. It's about tending to our own gardens, It's about holding space for ourselves, for the richness and the beauty of ourselves. Yes, yes, yes. So this is our homework for the week. So now I will go into answering some questions that you've asked me. And Mariah says, I love the idea of starting a pleasure practice. What's your best advice on starting a practice in general? Well, I am known around the streets as a resource queen, so I want to give you a resource. If you've ever read Adrienne Maree Brown's book, Pleasure Activism, there's some beautiful activations in there about starting a pleasure practice. My advice on starting a pleasure practice really begins with carving out the time. Carve out the time, whether it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes, just to start. And I like to start with the breath. How do I make even my breathing pleasurable, right? Not just I've got to do it to live, or like I've got to do it to be at this Zoom meeting for the 5th time today. Like, how do I make my breathing orgasmic? How do I make it deep and resonant? How do I pause at the climax of my breath and really enjoy what it feels to be full with air, right? I love that. I love it. It's a part of my own pleasure practice. So carve out the time, take some deep breaths, and then ask yourself, what does bring me pleasure? For some of us, it may be a certain scent. Maybe a part of your pleasure practice is, I'm going to anoint my body with this oil and this scent, every day, every other day, right? For some of you, it might be like, listen, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Don't tell the other people on the internet, okay? If I go a week without an orgasm, child, I'm cranky. I don't know if other people are like that. But if I go a week without an orgasm, I'm cranky. So a part of my pleasure practice is what? Making sure that I'm making time for pleasurable self-touch. It's a non-negotiable for me, right? So I think that's my best advice. And figure Jasmine, Jasmine says, oh, I'm mean. Okay, I knew I wasn't the only one, child. So start the practice first by carving out the time to just come to what is it that brings me that like feeling of joy, that feeling of that I'm holding myself, I'm holding space for myself. And sometimes you'll arrive for your pleasure practice and you're just like, I just need to touch. I just need to connect, right? I just need to connect with my body. I just need to connect. I need to be warm, right? Whatever that is for you, that's how you start. Start first by asking yourself, what is my pleasure? And in order to do that, you have to make the time, even if it's 2 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes, just making the time to ask yourself those questions and then to answer them honestly. The next question is wondering if there's guidance on how to reopen to play and dating after a year of locking down and so much worry. Oh my goodness. Did you choose I wonder if you chose the 3 of Cups. Let me know if you did. Very carefully. very carefully. And I would say the interesting thing about both tarot and pleasure practices and pleasurable self-touch is that you can be so creative. So even if you want to reopen to play, you don't necessarily have to reopen to in-person play. You can reopen to virtual play. You can reopen to digital play. You know, you can throw it back to the phone sex days. Y'all remember phone sex? You could throw it back to those, right? Play is play, is play, is play, right? You could do a virtual sexy bingo, where folks, you know, key and come and party and enjoy and play. There's so many different ways. There's so many different ways, right? What keeps us is the same conversations that we have about body safety as well. What keeps our bodies safe? Right? What are the questions that we need to be asking if we're doing in-person play, right? What are the questions that we need to ask of ourselves and others in order to be safe? It's similar, right? And then in the meantime, how do we reopen? Well, you know, sexting is still available. Toys are still available. And you can play with self, or you can invite others to watch you play, especially if you have a voyeurism kink. So again, ask yourself, what are my kinks? What are the things that I enjoy? What are the things that I'm into? And how do I open that up? So for example, don't tell the rest of the internet, y'all. It's going to be posted. It's fine. I'm really into voyeurism. And while I may not, you know, while that worry is real, and while you may not want to do that in person, that's something that can be done in a myriad of ways. With the support of hands or toys or all kinds of different things. And so being creative is something that's really, really going to help. And thinking through, well, what are the worries, and are there safety practices and protocols that you can do that can help ease some of those worries for you? Yes, yes, yes. So we're asking questions. If you have a question for me about sexuality, sensuality, or sexuality and spirituality together, I'm happy to answer that question for you. While I'm waiting on your questions, I'll recap what is our collective homework. So if you're in the room, this is our homework for the next week, and I'm going to do it with you. Actually, let's do this for the next month, because the next time we'll be together in this way. I'm doing monthly readings. So maybe the next month we can figure out the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles. What is our pleasure palace? What is that space for us that we can go back to that can remind us of our erotic life and our erotic goals, our erotic intentions? Pro tip, write your erotic intention on a piece of paper. If you don't have a big space to do a full altar, put it in an Altoids tin. Put it in a shoebox, right? Put it in a little box. Go to, the craft store and buy you a nice little photo box. Put your intention in there, and then just feed that box with images or toys or scents or flowers or herbs that can help you with that intention. So this is our homework, to build our pleasure palace, our space where we can come back to and really center down into what is it that I need for my body? What's my pleasure practice? And how do I move through this? Yes, yes, yes. This is the 9 of Pentacles. This is all of our homework. Hello, my loves. All my sugars are coming into the room. Yes, yes, yes. To recap what we talked about today, we chose a toy. So if you're just joining us, feel free to just enter in at this point. I'm going to do a quick recap as you are thinking about questions that you might want to ask me about the reading, about pleasure practices, or about our homework as well. So 3 toys. You got a choice of 3 toys. The first toy was Sundays. Sundays. It's a thruster. It's beautiful. It's waterproof. And you can prop it up on a pillow. I really like that. You can prop it up on a pillow and use for hands-free. If you chose this toy, you got the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups. Do I believe that I'm worthy of pleasure? How can I slow down? How can I slow down and really feel into my own pleasurable experience? Kelly Jo, I see your question. I'm going to answer it, my love. I'm going to do this quick recap and I'm going to answer your question, okay? Queen of Cups, if you chose Sundays, you got the Queen of Cups. How do I really, really believe that I'm worthy of pleasure? How do I make the time for my own pleasure? So that's if you chose the Sundays. If you chose B1, this is a toy you can use solo or you can also use for couples. It is a vibrating toy, and it even has like a tease and flirt setting. So that one is for the Three of Cups. We can use the tech to really share and expand. Three of Cups is about expanding our sexual and sensual range, expanding our erotic range, exploring who we are, how we give. The question here is, how do I share erotic energy with others? And we've been talking about a few ways that we can do that even in this specific like global moment. How do we do that? How do we make ourselves creative enough to share that with others? So if you chose to be one, you got the Three of Cups. And then, last but certainly not least, this is my favorite toy. I know you're probably not supposed to have favorites, but this is my favorite. Don't tell nobody. The Volta, honey. If you have the Volta and you love it, let me know, because I love this toy. It's so good. It has so many. I've lost track, honestly, of how many settings it has. You can use it on the shaft. You can use it on your clit. You can use it around your labia. It's a vibrating stroker. Yes, okay, see, people love this. Is an award-winning toy. Oh my God. So we chose this toy to go with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. When things are in a rut, when you're feeling stuck, sometimes you need a big thing to shake you up. Don't be afraid. Okay, this is for somebody I'm hearing. Don't be afraid of the shake up. Don't be afraid of the shake up. It's bringing in new energy. It's bringing in new vibrancy. It's bringing in new life. And it's okay. We talked about with the Ace of Pentacles, sometimes we feel like, oh, I don't have time for my own pleasure. Huh? In this economy, we need to make time for our own pleasure. We need to make time, right? Even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes. Ace of Pentacles, getting back to our body. We also chose this toy for this card because it helps you to get back into your body, to get grounded, to get stabilized, right? To come back into an expression of what is my body feeling and how am I experiencing it. So Kelly Jo, I'm going to answer your question. Kelly Jo says, any advice for someone with disabilities who often gets tired, overwhelmed, and ends up putting sex on the back burner? How can I make it feel like less of a burden? First, I want to say that I really resonate with that. I think as I've shared before, I'm a Black queer disabled femme. And sometimes it feels like, oh my God, this takes so much energy. And that's real. If you resonate with me and Kelly Jo, put some hearts. Let us know you with us. Sometimes it gets tiring. Sometimes it gets overwhelming. And it's true. We can feel like, all right, well, let me just do something later. See, the people are putting the hearts up there, resonating. It's something that is a real experience. So number one, don't judge yourself. There are no shoulds. There are no shouldn'ts. This is about your pleasure. So sometimes if it's your pleasure to rest, then embrace that as your pleasure practice. So allow yourself, right? Don't judge yourself for what it is that you need. One thing that really helps me is our hands-free toys. The thing that I like about the B1 is that for me, it will fit in my labia. And so I can just chill. It's not that labor intensive. Toys, I look for toys who are disability friendly, in that they have things like ergonomic handles, because sometimes even my arms or my wrists will get fatigued of holding things. So that can be a helpful thing as well. And then I'm wondering if you can figure out what are some pleasurable ways to do a sexy rest, right? I love sexy rest. So let me tell you about sexy rest as a pleasure practice. You lay down, right? Before you lay down, you set your scene. What is your pleasure palace? 9 of Pentacles. What is your pleasure palace? So you light your candle, or you put on your aromatherapy, or something I like to do is just take a little bit of rose and amber oil and just put it on my own body, just to make my own body luscious and beautiful. I'll dim the lights and I'll lay down. Yes, sexy rest, honey. And I'll lay down. Sometimes I'll even lay down if there's a jewelry or a really nice luxurious robe or something that I like to lay down in. And I would just fantasize. If I had the energy, child, what would I be doing? If I wasn't, I'm tired right now, but what would I be doing? What will I be feeling? And I like to keep my toys right by me, just in case for my sexy rest, I want to, do a little more of a pleasure practice. But sometimes you need the rest, so just take a sexy rest. That's how you make it feel like less of a burden. Your playtime is your playtime. Do whatever it is that feels good for you, right? Do whatever it is that feels life-giving for you. So for some of this, that may be sexy rest. For others of us, that may be playing with our toys. Yes, sexy, it always says sexy rest will replace boring napping. Yes, sexy rest, honey. Just laying down and allowing yourself to be your full erotic self, and you can still get your rest. Yes. Huh? And then when you think about, like, if I had the energy, what would I be doing after you wake up from your nap? You can write it down as your intention and put it in your pleasure palace box or your erotic altar. So allow everything to feed into each other. Make the magic. One thing I always say over at jtperry.com is make the magic easy. Make the magic easy for yourself. Make the magic easy. Same thing goes for pleasurable self-touch and really making pleasure palaces. It has been so much fun being with you all. The time has flown by. We will be doing this again next month right here on this platform. If you want to keep in touch throughout the month, definitely keep in touch through Fun Factory USA, and keep in touch with me at JT Perry. And that is where we can key throughout the month. Next month, I will be here with you, and we will look at some more toys, and we will look at some more cards. What is our sexy, sensual tarot message for the month? Thank you all so much. I hope I get to talk with you soon. Bye-bye.